Fairy Tail, Episode 4 recap. So we start where Episode 3 left off. Lucy's in the clutches of evil, gross mole man, and then she tells him that he's evil. Well, she explains why he's evil to his face, and he's like, okay, so yeah, I am. And then Natsu shows up when he summons Virgo because she summons Cancer. We find out that Natsu is impossibly strong and can hang on through teleportation, which is... that will actually come into effect later.
Like, he actually went through the celestial world.
Yeah. And then... yeah, the good guys win, bad guys lose. Place falls in on itself.
They don't take the money because...
yeah, they don't take the money because the writer's family is all
better.
poor. Yeah. And, yeah, it's a good episode. So, what did you like?
I like that you kind of get 2 episodes in one. Like, you get the finishing touches on the one story with the author, and then you get them running into Gray.
Yeah.
In the wilderness, and they get attacked, and somebody tries to eat Happy. And he tells them that he has to pee, and so he'll taste weird if they try to cook him.
Yeah. No, Happy's full of jokes all throughout that scene. From the, oh, thank God, now I'm not gonna taste weird. Yeah. All the way to, oh no, now Lucy's gonna eat me.
And you get Urza.
Yeah, Urza shows up at the end.
Yay.
Got a big ol' horn. I do love the voice talking about Urza. She's like, she's big enough to topple a mountain. No, she's big enough to topple 3 mountains. Now, Gray, let's not over-exaggerate things. It's 2 mountains.
Like, 1 mountain is scary enough. And then it's just this little red-headed girl in armor.
Yeah.
Carrying a giant horn.
Yeah, I like how even the residents of Magnolia are just still not quite used to all of the crazy shit the wizards bring into town.
Yeah.
You know, some of them are like, so do we bust out the wheelie on some of the houses for this?
Yeah. No, I do like this episode that you kind of see that doing the right thing is more important to Natsu than the money.
Yeah.
And he's obviously smarter than he looks sometimes in that he realized that those people weren't rich and couldn't afford it.
He cares about the job while he's on the job.
Yeah.
But he's good at figuring out his own stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, she didn't actually get Virgo in this one.
No, she doesn't.
She gets Virgo later.
Yeah. Because I forgot that they set up Lullaby this early, and I forgot that it's like a setup. I thought that he just kind of like was the next big thing as soon as Urza showed up.
Yeah, no, it starts this early.
Okay. Yeah, we also, so I guess we'll talk about him in spoilers. What else did you like?
I don't know. I like that you kind of learn a little bit more about how Lucy's power works, and she summons them from an actual
Yeah, there is a different dimension that they come from.
Yeah. I like that you see a new form of magic and that the author hides the real story for his son inside the book.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I like her anxiety that is so real when you're an author of you don't want anybody to read your work because they're going to hate it. But then if they hate it, you've kind of failed at your job. It's a very, very odd sensation to have that you're scared people won't like it, but you really want them to like it.
As a dungeon master, I have no idea what that feels like. Yeah, my whole thing to say to that is pussy up, bitch.
Yeah, it's if you're gonna be an author, it's something you have to overcome. But
yeah,
it's not easy when you're trying to you put all of your creativity into something, and then you're scared to show it because you're scared somebody won't like it.
Oh. Have fun pouring all of your creativity into something that can only happen once and people might not like it.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, they do a great job of explaining that anxiety with Lucy.
Yeah, I comes to really, like, stereotypical rich girl, whatever, wanting to be a novelist is... It's a reasonable character trait to have.
Yeah.
Is like, I've legitimately experienced a lot of really nice exotic places. I've seen art. I've heard music. I can write a good story.
Yeah.
It makes sense for a character like her. Well, I guess what did you not like?
I don't like that you still don't really know what Gray's powers are. Like, up till, like, you've seen him fight a couple times and you still don't actually know what kind of wizard he is. I thought it would have been introduced.
Did they not say that he's an ice-wielding wizard, or did they just introduce him at, like, the
just
narrator
that he
voice?
takes his clothes
just that
off.
He takes his clothes off. Okay.
Yeah, they don't actually... I thought that this would be where they would introduce his ice powers because he's in an actual fight.
No,
and they still don't.
Yeah, it's when they start, I think... It might not get into that until he comes and tries to get them on the island.
I don't know.
Because it's when I don't think they establish that he's an ice wizard until Orr shows up in the story.
Yeah, so, yeah, you're kind of left in the dark about what Gray's powers are. And why he and Natsu have this ongoing bickering thing.
I think at this point in the show, they just want you to think that Natsu more or less fights everybody. And, yeah, I like the setup for Urza. I think they overdo it a little bit. I don't. She's scary. She's terrifying. I mean, she literally takes her name from fucking Shakespeare. In a piece of art, that's a powerful thing to do.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really the only thing I don't like, is that you don't really get to see Gray's power at all.
Yeah.
You just see him fighting.
Alright, spoilers then. Meat!
Urza's awesome!
No, the meat chicken. We gotta talk about the meat chicken first. I didn't realize...
So...
He comes back, how does he not die?
I mean, Lullaby pulls them all under and frees them. Isn't that the whole point?
I thought he pulled them all under to silence and kill them.
Oh, I thought he was freeing them and taking them with him.
I've always read that scene as a whole suffocating them in dirt type
before they
scene.
can talk.
Yeah.
But one of them is a dirt wizard.
That's okay, sure, fair.
I don't know. I just always thought of it as him.
No, that doesn't.
Away.
You're right. One of them has dirt powers, so there's no reason why he wouldn't be able to tunnel out after. Okay, I feel you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on board. Cool.
But yeah, pretty much big bad's coming.
Yeah.
Something new.
Yeah.
And obviously coming at the same time Urza is coming, so probably has something to do with her.
Do we meet Lullaby and Urza at the same time?
I mean, Lullaby is introduced in this episode, and then Urza comes in at the end.
Okay, but is there an episode with Urza where Lullaby isn't the main villain first?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because I think she teams up with them and takes them on a job together, and that's when they...
No, they sneak away and go onto the island. Then she brings them back. Then it's Lullaby.
Yeah, and then they
Okay. I knew there was another plot that happened between now and then.
But yeah, coolest wizard ever is coming in.
Natsu's been here since episode
Urza.
1. You can see where our lines are drawn. But yeah, there is quite the rivalry between Natsu and Urza. I know there's a fight at the end of the season. I know there's another fight at the end of another season.
I think Natsu just really wants to prove that he's as good as.
Yeah.
And she's always willing to knock him down a peg.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of their relationship, is...
Yeah.
Him trying to beat her and her knocking him down.
Yeah. I do like the orphan family and then Mira Jane and her family as like two big pillars of the fairy tale guild.
Yeah.
Like it's Urza and her crew and then Mira Jane and her crew.
Yeah.
Which again, we'll get into with future episodes. This whole show is really good, and will probably get lost in our
There
own
is a lot of,
ramblings
but
from
this
time
is what
to
I was
time.
talking about, like the setup of the story, even this earlier,
You'll
setting
find
things up.
trouble with water and women. Oh my god, what a fantastic joke.
Yeah, that is way foreshadowing in the future.
And Gray even points out he has more self-awareness about the guy telling his fortune than when his fortune comes true about himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water and women. It's a problem for Gray.
I don't think I've ever picked up on that before.
I did not the first couple times I watched it. This is the first time I picked up on it. But no, that is what I love about this show. Like, it's... If you really go back and rewatch it, you find little details that hint at what's coming way before it starts happening.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's why I love this show so much. Is because it does such a great job of setting you up for the stories.
Yeah, it knows what it's going to tell you.
Linking everything together. They obviously had a clear goal on where they wanted to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Yeah, and it's like that with... There are very clear arcs in the stories, and sometimes those interconnect with one another, but like... I like that they... I just completely lost track of myself. I like that they are, again, they know what they're gonna tell. Like, they have the plan in front of them as they're getting the different beats in, and you'll start to see that a lot more on the island that they go to with, even just the dude who brings them to the island.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also like that it keeps the same character consistency of the old demon man still shows up to all of their social events to ask, when are you going to destroy the moon? And I like that they have, like, consistency for the short term and the long term.
Yeah. No, I think the reason that this is my favorite anime is the same reason that Charmed is my favorite TV show, is because they do a fantastic job of taking magic and just turning it into this whole, like, there are rules, there are guidelines, but there's so many different things you can do with it. And I think people just hear magic and think, oh, spells and
yeah, cast
stuff
fireball.
like that. No, like, they really bring it to life in such an interesting way.
Yeah, I mean, changing the words in a book is a powerful spell.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So
yeah.
That's spoilers. What's the big takeaway?
Let's see. Last one was don't burn books.
Yeah. Is this one actually read books? How about actually read books?
Read the books. Don't just destroy them. Read them first. And, you know...
Apparently I view my audience as cavemen. No burn book, book good, learn book.
And, I don't know, don't judge a little girl on her strength.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, well, let's